The Western Cape Social Development Department has raised concerns over Postbank's new cardless payment system for Sassa beneficiaries whose gold cards are expiring. Beneficiaries will have to go to identified retailers with their IDs and cell phones to withdraw their money. Let's bring in now Monique Mortlock-Malgas, who is a provincial social development spokesperson. Monique, thank you for making time for us. What's concerning you the most as the department about this new method of paying grant beneficiaries?
Clement, thank you for having me. It must first be noted that when it comes to Sassa and the disbursement of social grants, it is the mandate of the National Minister, that's National Minister of Social Development, Lindiwe Zulu. Because according to the Social Assistance Care Act of 2004, it's up to the Minister and the Minister of Finance. It is their responsibility to disburse social grants, whether it be child grants, older persons grants, disability grants, foster child grants, whatever it might be. I'm going to tell you why I say this. I say this because this week, and in fact over the last couple of months, our office, the Office of Western Cape MEC of Social Development, Shana Fernandez, has been inundated with complaints and with queries from Sassa beneficiaries, not only here in the Western Cape, but from other parts of the country as well. Just last night, I received an email from a pensioner in Vosloorus in Ekurhuleni saying that they are distressed because with the Sassa gold cards, those are your Postbank issued gold cards, coming up for it's expiring at the end of April. People are worried because how else are they going to withdraw their funds? So when we saw that Postbank issued a statement earlier this week on the 25th of April informing clients that they will, those who have these Postbank issued gold cards and it's about to expire, they will be able to do a cardless withdrawal. So you will now be able to go into selected retailers and without using your card, you can then get your funds. When we saw this statement, the MEC Fernandez, she was greatly concerned because this doesn't speak to or address many of the challenges that we've heard from beneficiaries themselves. MEC Fernandez, as well as us, those who are part of our office, we have visited various Sassa service points, Sassa offices across the province over the last couple of months just to document all of the complaints from beneficiaries of the ground. We've spoken to beneficiaries on the ground. MEC Fernandez has on numerous occasions even had to step in where she saw inefficient service taking place, where there were disorderly queues, no proper queue management systems in place, beneficiaries not knowing where they should stand, what they should do, which documents they should have, and all of these myriad of complaints we have collated. We have brought it to Sassa in two different engagements. One was in February, and that was after MEC Fernandez basically pleaded with National Minister of Social Development, Lindiwe Zulu, for a meeting with Minister Zulu and with Sassa's national management. That meeting didn't take place, the meeting that MEC Fernandez originally wanted with Minister Zulu, but she did get a meeting with Sassa's national and Western Cape management. There we told them about all of these problems. Last week, ahead of Postbank issuing their latest statement about the cardless withdrawal method, we met with Sassa, once again, Sassa in the Western Cape, and then we told them about the chaos that we've been seeing in areas like Grassy Park in Cape Town, for example, last week, where scores of beneficiaries flooded into the Grassy Park Civic Centre because the City of Cape Town made the Civic Centre available after beneficiaries saw that the post office was closed, because Sassa and Postbank had informed beneficiaries to go to different post office branches to get their card renewals, but with the problems, the financial challenges that the South African Post Office has found itself in, Many post office branches are closing left, right and center, leaving beneficiaries who have been told, who were first told to go to these post office branches, leaving them in limbo. And that was why the City of Cape Town had to open the Civic Centre. So that all took place ahead of Postbank's statement on Tuesday, informing clients that they can now do the cardless withdrawal method. But from what we've heard from the different Sassa beneficiaries, this isn't what they want. What they want is a clear solution from national government on what they are planning to do with these gold cards that are set to expire.
Isn't this, though, a temporary measure while government tries to sort out the renewal of these gold cards? So this new method is not going to require a physical card, in my understanding, to withdraw those funds. The beneficiaries will be able to go to these identified retailers, as long as they've got their ID, they've got their cell phone numbers to withdraw their grants. Is that not going to work as a temporal measure while government sorts out people with cards that have expired?
I don't want to say we are optimistic. MEC Fernandez issued a statement earlier this week after that Postbank statement of this temporary cardless withdrawal method, which they are pushing quite hard. If you go onto the different social media pages of Postbank and of Sassa, they're pushing this cardless withdrawal method quite hard. What we wanted to know from Sassa is, what are you doing with beneficiaries living in far-flung rural areas, the elderly, those who are disabled, people who might not be aware of what Postbank and Sassa is conveying on the different social media platforms? Because we must remember, those who are reliant on Sassa grants, many of them are people who may not have access to social media, who might not have the resources to go to a shop and to do this cardless withdrawal, or not the resources, but they haven't yet been educated on how it works. Not many beneficiaries, the ones that we've spoken to, are trusting of this cardless withdrawal method because they feel a lot more safer having that physical card in their hand. Just simply due to all sorts of stories going around of potential fraud, etc. So one has to understand that even though this is a temporary method, which we do welcome, we welcome Postbank's innovation, if we can call it that, for coming up with this temporary method, but we do need to know what is happening with the gold card renewals, because here in the Western Cape, out of the 5.9 million beneficiaries who have these Postbank issued gold cards, here in the Western Cape we have over 390,000, and it's for them that MEC Fernandez is fighting this battle with the national government. I saw, Clement, I'm not sure if you are aware of it, I have seen a media statement today from Postbank saying that it's been extended. The renewals of these cards has been extended to the end of the year. I'm not sure if it has been made public yet. And this is the other issue we have, ineffective communication. Because while we might know about this, I have checked online right before this interview. I was scouring Postbank's social media pages, the website, Sassa's social media pages, to see if they've made this known yet, because we are now aware of it, that the renewals of the gold cards have been extended. People have until the end of the year in which they can still be using their gold cards. But do the public know? Do the average citizen living in a rural area in the Northern Cape or the Eastern Cape or in parts of the Western Cape, in the Klein Karoo, in Kanaland, do they know? And this is where we feel there is a great disconnect between Sassa, between Postbank and the South African Post Office. So according to that statement by the Post Office then, does this mean that the temporal measure is not necessarily going to be the only option? So for people who still have, their expired cards, can they still use them, or they can still find ways to replace the cards, but they have until the end of the year, and in the meantime, they've got to go with this temporary measure that's been announced? How do you understand it's going to unfold? Clement, I'll read a snippet from the statement. It says that the Payment Association of South Africa has extended the validity of expired Sassa Postbank gold cards until 31 December 2023. This means that social grant recipients can continue using the expired cards for social grant payments, transactions at ATMs, and merchant point of sale withdrawals and purchases without the need to collect new cards or switch to other banks. And I would suggest that you find out from Postbank, because we also want to know whether this means that people can still continue using the cards, if this has been communicated to all banks, to all retailers, because obviously on the card, people are flustered, they are frustrated because they were told that these cards are going to expire. So that is a question I would suggest you put to Postbank and Sassa, just to get clarity on that.
All right, now we'll try and get a hold of them. Monique Mortlock-Malgas, thank you for making time. Now let's wait and see if there's going to be the right infrastructure and even capacity at the post office for people to come and renew these cards. At least they've got until the end of the year.